Hey guys, welcome back to Rocket Gyan, my fellow space tubers. And today I am very excited because finally we will be seeing an ISRO launch from Sriharikota second launch pad. This is their second launch pad. They have this first launch pad also. This is the second launch pad. And the best part about this launch pad is that in the near future, Gaganyaan mission, Gaganyaan astronaut or Vyomnauts will also launch from this launch pad. So, welcome to the stream, everyone. Welcome, Rahul. Welcome, Bogi Holtroll, my tube official, Saurabh, Andrew Kroll. Welcome you. I welcome you all to the stream, and I hope you will enjoy the launch from ISRO because their launches are always great if they do a good job with their cameras. But yeah, I'm hoping for the same. This is the PSLV rocket. This is the most beautiful rocket which I've ever seen. You know, one of the most beautiful rocket, I must say. And red and white color just suits it so good. So let's just discuss about this mission and have a look at it. So first of all, this is the PSLV rocket, and this rocket is gonna fly in CA configuration, the core alone configuration. So this core alone configuration is what? So this is a PSLV rocket. This is a 4-stage rocket. Yes, there are 4 stages to it. Nowadays we barely see 3-stage rocket. This is a 4-stage rocket, and here you can see some strap on attached. These are not the boosters. So this is one thing about these are not the boosters, and we'll talk about this rocket. If I can zoom in a bit, then you can see, yep, there we have the rocket, the thingy which we'll see, and the separation motors. This is the second stage, the third stage, and the fourth stage is in here. So today this rocket is going to carry 3 payloads, not the 3, basically 3 main payloads and then other rideshare. So this is one more photo of it. This is how it looks like, and let's just first of all understand this Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle. The PSLV stands for Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle, and this is the launch vehicle which launched the Mangalyaan mission, the Chandrayaan-1 mission, and this is the workhorse of the rocket with around with a very high reliability, around 99%. This rocket, if it launches, it just does not fail. This is how this is like the Falcon 9 for for ISRO. So first of all, let's have a look at this rocket. So we have these strap-on boosters. Other configuration has these strap-on booster, the side boosters, but today it is flying in CA, which is nothing but core alone. So there is no strap-on booster. But although there is this thing which is nothing but, this is not a booster, but this is a roll control thruster. So ISRO had this. Since they are using this. The first stage is all solid, so they needed some sort of roll control mechanism in their system. So how do they do that? So they literally added this tank out of this rocket, which has a small motor attached to it, engine attached to it, a liquid fuel, and there are 2 of them, and those 2 liquid fuel engine are, or you can say, sit vector control. They actually control the roll of this rocket. So there are pitch, yaw, and roll control. So pitch and yaw is controlled by the gimbaling of this rocket, the first stage, and the roll is controlled by this one. So this is not, I repeat, not a booster, strap-on booster. So the first stage is nothing but a 139 basically 139 tons of a solid rocket booster. It has a fuel of STPB, which is, if I say, this is, there is one very interesting fact that ISRO started using STPB first, then NASA were still using their old rocket fuel in their shuttle, which was the old solid fuel, but ISRO started using STPB in their launchers way ahead when of NASA. So, and there was one conversation also. There was an incident also where NASA approached ISRO. Literally, they approached ISRO to supply this solid rocket fuel for their shuttle rockets. So we don't know what we barely know the things which go inside ISRO and what they achieve. So yeah, there is one cool incident which I wanted to tell you. And then we have the first stage. This is the first stage. Then the second stage. The second stage is a liquid fuel stage. So this liquid fuel stage is nothing but it's powered by a Vikas engine, high thrust Vikas engine. This is an operated version of this one, the PS2 operated version of Vikas engine. They produces around 804 kilonewtons of thrust. Fuel is UDMH and N2O4, so hypergolic fuel, which means they do not need an igniter. And the Vikas engine runs on gas generator cycle. So what this gas generator cycle is, if you have studied that thermodynamics and all, so there is some cycles of the engine. So this cycle, there is again, since this is an engine, so there is also one cycle to it. And the cycle which it uses is a gas generator cycle, which is an open cycle. We'll discuss about these cycles in some other stream, but let's just have a look at all those other things right now. But yeah, UDMH and N2O4 as its fuel, 800 kilonewtons of thrust, Vikas engine, second stage liquid fuel. Then the third stage again is a solid fuel. So this solid fuel again uses STPB, produces a maximum thrust of 240 kilonewton. And this solid rocket motor has the vector control, means gimbaling to it. They actually, for solid rocket motor, we don't say gimbaling, but you understand what do I mean by gimbaling. The steering capability of the rocket, it has a flex nozzle in it, which I'll show you. It has a flex nozzle in it, which actually literally flexes. The nozzle itself flexes to attain the required gimbaling and all those things. Then we have the PS4, which is the fourth and the final stage, which is again a liquid stage. It uses MMH and MON, which is monomethyl hydrazine and monoxides of nitrogen. This is also the liquid one, and has two engines of 7.6 kilonewtons producing each, thrust produced by each. So this is how it looks like, and it is going to the low Earth orbit, and for core alone configuration, which is like this. It has a payload capacity of 2100 kilograms. So this is how it looks like. And so the stages, let me recap. The first stage solid, second stage liquid, third stage solid, fourth stage liquid. So this is how it looks like. And now the height is 44 meters, 2.8 meters the diameter. And let's just have a look at the other things now. So this is the first stage. This is the first SRB section, the solid rocket booster section of the first stage, which is being assembled in the vehicle assembly building. This is the launch pad. Here you can see all those flame duct from where the rocket flame would go out. And this is the first section of the SRB. So this is how it looks like when it is getting assembled. And yeah, these one are those sit vector control system which I was talking about, the roll control thrusters. Because here you can see this is not SRB. Here you can actually see all those things. So this is our engine section, this is a fuel section. So here it uses that small liquid fuel engine which has fuel in it, in this one, to control the roll of the thrusters by using the gimbaling of these two engines. So these twin engines are not separatable, as well as they produce the required roll control for this rocket. Now moving on to this one, what if you are wondering, this is the first image that I've ever seen for a motor igniter. Since this is a first stage is a solid rocket booster, right? So since a solid rocket booster also needs some sort of ignition, right, before it can ignite fully. So this is the igniter. Such a small thing is the igniter, wherein after which the whole rocket ignites and lifts off. So this is our igniter. This is how it looks like for the S139 motor. Okay, so now talking about the second stage. This is the second stage. This is how the Vikas engine looks like, and this is the first this blue thing is nothing but literally the water. It carries water, literally water, to uh, for cooling down the engine, because this engine, this liquid fuel engine attains such a high temperature that you need something for it to cool down. And uh, in other rockets which has cryogenic fuel, they use that fuel to cool down this rocket, but this one is using N2O4 and UDMH, which are earth storable liquids, right? So they don't have cryogenic temperature. The temperatures of these are like 20 degrees, 15 degrees to 20 degrees, which is not much to cool the engine. So what it does is it literally carries a water tank with itself, and this water tank supplies water to cool down the engine when it is igniting, and when it is in ignition, when it is performing. So this is how it looks like. This is the section, the PSLV C53 rocket. This is how it looks like. And yeah, it has the Ulaj motors also. Those Ulaj motors are nothing but the separation motor, which just um, ensures that the stage separation happens smoothly and perfectly. Okay, moving on to the third stage, third and the fourth stage. So this is the third stage. This is how it looks like. And this nozzle which I was talking about, this is the solid third stage. This nozzle which I was talking about is the just a second. Yeah. So this nozzle is the flex nozzle which I was talking about. So this nozzle is responsible for providing the gimbling, and how it does is it literally bends this nozzle with the actuators which are supplied in here. So it does its job by flexing the nozzle. So it literally flex that by hence providing the gimbling. And the roll control of this one is provided by the roll control thruster of the fourth stage. So this fourth stage has this white strips. This is nothing but a payload fairing starter, you can say, as well as a roll control thrusters are located in here. So the fourth stage roll control thrusters is used to control the roll of the third stage here. So yeah, this is how it looks like, and the fourth stage is inside this one. I can't show you because this is obviously hidden right now, but yeah, the fourth stage is inside here. And now let's talk about the satellites which are going to space. So the this is the second dedicated commercial mission from NSIL. So if you don't know NSIL, this is the commercial arm of ISRO. So all the contracts, the commercial contracts which ISRO gets by launching the satellites are handled by NSIL now, and this is the second contract which NSIL is handling. So this is a four stage this one is a new SAR, which is a 365 kilogram satellite. And this one is basically is a Singapore's first commercial satellite carrying a SAR payload. So there you go. And then we have another one. This is the DSEO, which is the spy satellite for Singapore. So there are three primary customers from Singapore which are launching today. Basically a DSEO satellite, which is this new SAR satellite, 155 kilograms of new SAR. This is a DSEO 365 kilograms. And the third satellite, 2.8 kilograms Scoop 1 of Nanyang Technological University from Singapore. So these are the three main satellites. And the DSEO, which you are seeing in front of you, this satellite will provide full color images for land classification and serving humanitarian assistance and disaster reliefs. So this is an Earth observation satellite and will be used for disaster relief, but also for reconnaissance also. So this is the first okay, so this new SAR which I showed you previously is the first commercial satellite carrying a SAR payload which is capable of providing images in a day and a night under all weather conditions. So this is the beauty of SAR, because SAR instrument is able to just go through the layers of clouds and weather and whatnot. So therefore it does not matter how is the weather or if it is day or night, because it will be able to produce those images with the help of microwaves. Are kind of, there are certain waves, not microwaves, I don't remember actually which waves are sent, but there are certain waves which are sent from the satellite to the earth. They go to the earth and then bounce back to the space again, and then captured by the satellite. And because of that, it does not interfere, the weather does not interfere, because it is actually sending physical waves to it which can penetrate through the thick layers of clouds, and then it bounces back and they're captured again by the satellite. So this is how it is able to achieve the image of a certain terrain. So now moving on to the the Scoop 1 satellite, which is from the Nanyang Technological University. This is a first satellite in the student satellite series, a hands-on student training program from the Satellite Research Center at Singapore School University of Electrical and Electronic Engineering. The first kind of say student satellite series from their Satellite Research Center. Now moving on, this is the newest part of the PSLV rocket, and I just love this. So this is the fourth stage of the rocket, and they have devised a way so that this fourth stage can be used as a satellite platform to house other payloads and experiments in space for like years and years to come. And it is able to do that with the help of its own fuel tank which it carries. So the propulsion is provided by them, provided by ISRO. The power is provided by ISRO. You can, therefore it is modified to have the solar panels in here, which you can see. And it also has the communication capabilities and everything. So this fourth stage will be used, you can say, recycling of the stage. This is the fourth stage of the PSLV rocket, and this will be recycled to perform experiments, to house experiments, to house satellite payloads. And there are like this POEM will carry 6 payloads, including 2 from Indian space startup, which is Digantra and Dhruva Space. You must have heard about Dhruva Space if you if you know about the Indian space private space ecosystem. So yeah, this is the in orbit scientific experiment PSLV orbital experiment module. This is known as PSLV experiment orbital experimental module, POEM. And it performs in orbit scientific experiment using the spent PS4 stage as an orbital platform. So this thing is now being done in US also with Centaur stage, upper stage. But right now they have not demonstrated it, but it will be soon demonstrated. But PSLV is doing that. So ISRO is known for doing everything in a very cheap manner. So this is one of their way to recycle it and get the most out of their one launch. So it is the first time that PS4 stage would orbit the Earth as a stabilized platform. Attitude stabilization is achieved using a dedicated NGC system, and which is nothing but a navigation and guidance control. POM this derives the power from the solar panels, which you can see, and it also has a lithium-ion battery surrounded by it. It navigates using 4 sun sensors, magnetometer, gyros, and Navik also. Navik is nothing but, if you don't know what is Navik, Navik is a GPS constellation, GPS system developed by ISRO for India. So that is a regional a GPS system. So it will be using that also. And it carries dedicated control thrusters using the helium gas storage, which you can see the helium gas bottles are there for providing the RCS control, reaction control system. And if you look very closely here, guys, if you can spot something, there is some Easter egg which ISRO has given. Okay, can you see this? Does this remind you of something? They are literally sending, we don't have the high definition image, but this is an Easter egg from ISRO. They are sending the Indian flag up to the space, and this is, I think, the Constitution preamble, if I'm not wrong. So they will have a proper camera in place to have maybe what I'm guessing is there is some a huge show which will be organized by ISRO on 15th of August. And I think this thing which they are sending, the Indian flag, and I think this is the preamble of the Constitution of India, uh, uh, which they will be showcasing this in that event of 15th August. That would be so cool. So cool indeed, right? So yeah, this one is Easter egg which very few people spotted, and here you go. So this is how it looks like. Although we don't have the proper mission profile from ISRO, because uh, I don't know why they have not given this mission profile. They have done this previously also, when they don't give the press kit. Basically, they have not released the press kit for today's launch, and they do that for some reason. Maybe I don't know, maybe there is some, reconnaissance satellite is going to space, so there is that. So maybe, but this mission profile is kind of similar. So first what will happen, the ignition of the first stage will happen. It will then burn to its one burn till it's empty. Then the separation of the PS1, which is nothing but the first stage, the ignition of the PS2, the ignition of the second stage, which is the liquid Vikas engine. Then the fairing will separate. Then the Vikas, the second stage will also separate, which you can see. Then the third stage will ignite the and once the ignition of the third stage happens, then once it is also deprived of its fuel, it will also separate. And then the fourth stage will have ignition, and then the cutoff, and then finally the payloads will be deployed into the orbit. But the PS4 fourth stage will store its propellant to provide the satellite hosting platform, stabilized hosting platform, orbital platform. So they have tested this technology. Like, they did not host any payloads or so, but they did do in, I think there was one PSLV launch in which they tested this technology, whether they can restart the engine of the PS4, so that after a long period of time, whether they can restart the engine, so that they can show the capability of restartability of this fourth stage, which is indeed very much necessary when you want to have a stabilized orbital platform, because you need to maintain your orbit. So yeah, there you have it. And ISRO will be coming live, so we'll talk about that soon. So it's also launching the pledge and the Indian flag. Yep, it's a pledge, I guess. So it's a pledge, Devpratim. So yeah, you are right about that. Heat shield or fairings, whatever you wanna say. You can say that. Welcome to the stream, Space Maniac Zach. And let me just see if we have the live stream and go to that. Okay, still waiting. The meantime, you can have a look at the rocket, which looks so beautiful. And you can spot the Ulaj motor in here. That would be great, right? You can do that. Okay, still some time is there, so we'll have to wait. Just in 2 minutes or so, we'll have the launch. So you can ask me any questions if you have. Hopefully I have cleared all your doubts, guys, regarding today's launch day from ISRO. It's a very rare event when it comes to ISRO launching, because it has become kind of that, which I personally don't like. So but I would want ISRO to launch more frequently. But now, since OneWeb is coming to India, like, launching from India, so that would certainly increase the launch cadence of ISRO. It will use the GSLV Mark 3. Hopefully by the end of the year, maybe we may see one Mark 3 launch carrying the OneWeb satellites to space. So just crossing my fingers. And yes, let's see what do we have in store for us for today. Okay, okay, Janit Kumar. Okay, ISRO is live. Okay, fine. I'll just switch over to that. Yep, they are live. although their stream quality is again 720p, but no worries, I'll switch over to a higher definition once I have that. Don't worry about it. But right now we are seeing some views from inside the mission control. Just, yep, there you go. Yeah, so this is the views from inside of the launch control. This is how typically, ISRO's launch start, when they just start broadcasting abruptly, wherein they also set up their stream. You will see, their official broadcast has not started yet. You will see that thing. And obviously, Mr. Somnath sir, the chairperson, there you know, now the official broadcast has started. So this is a typical ISRO thing. So Somnath sir, the chairperson of ISRO, was there. Obviously, he will be there to ensure everything goes as per the plan, and ensure the success of this mission. But uh, I am hopeful that we would get some HD views of the PSLV rocket, because in the previous launch we got a good camera, but at the last moment I don't know what they did, and they switched over to some certain poor quality camera, so that happened. But let's see. I am hopeful for today. Let's see what happens. Uh, yeah, there you go. Live views of the rocket.
Good
This
evening
this
and
one.
hearty
Okay.
welcome to all the viewers. I am Madhuri, welcoming you to the launch event of PSLV C53 DSEO mission, being telecast live from the Mission Control Center at Satish Dhawan Space Centre, Shar, Sriharikota, Andhra Pradesh, the spaceport of India.
नमस्कार, शुभ संध्या।
Let me switch over
हम आप
to
सभी दर्शकों का स्वागत करते हैं।
higher quality
मैं
broadcast.
विकास
Guys,
स्वर्णकार
just
सतीश धवन
pardon me.
अंतरिक्ष केंद्र शाह श्रीहरिकोटा से उपस्थित हूं इसरो के एक और नए मिशन में। आज का यह मिशन PSLV C53 एक समर्पित वाणिज्यिक मिशन है। हमने पिछला मिशन PSLV-4 के सफल प्रक्षेपण के साथ देखा, और आज इसरो फिर से तैयार है अपने एक नए मिशन PSLV C53 DSEO के लिए।
Better
तो हमारे
quality
साथ
stream.
जुड़े रहिए, हम आपको समय
Oh,
समय पर
there you go, the HD cameras. Let's see if it remains on when this rocket lifts off in just 28
The
minutes from
launch
now.
will take place today, the 30th of June 2022 at 18:02 hours Indian Standard Time from the second launch pad. Apart from DD National, the live telecast is also available on ISRO website, YouTube, Facebook and Twitter. The PSLV C53 is a commercial mission to launch DSEO satellite weighing 365 kgs at an altitude of 570 kilometers orbit with semi-major axis of 6,948 kilometers with 10 degrees inclination, and it also carries two co-passenger satellites. The PSLV C53 being launched today is a core alone version of reliable.
I hope the audio is good now. This stream has a good audio quality and video, so I switched over to it.
इस समय प्रक्षेपण यान PSLV C53 पूरी तरह तैयार अपने मिशन को पूरा करने के लिए, और इसे द्वितीय प्रमोचन मंच से प्रमोचित किया जा रहा है। आज 30 जून 2022 को भारतीय मानक समय के अनुसार शाम 6:02 पर PSLV C53 का प्रमोचन किया जाएगा। उड़ान की उल्टी गिनती 26 घंटे पहले शुरू हो चुकी है, और उसी के साथ सारी तैयारियां भी पूरी कर ली गई हैं। कुछ अंतिम गतिविधियों तथा परीक्षणों के पश्चात प्रमोचन यान को प्रज्वलन के लिए सक्षम कर दिया जाएगा।
RSO to control, event number 395 confirmed. Roger.
Calling P1, put on pulsar.
28 minutes to go for the launch, and the countdown is progressing.
P1 pulsar on.
So right now what you are seeing is the mission control.
एक चरणीय कोर अलोन संरूपण वाला प्रमोचन यान है, जिसमें प्रथम चरण में ठोस नोदक वाला S139 बूस्टर मोटर लगा हुआ है,
See the views of the pad. They are using the HD cameras. I'm so happy. I'm hopeful to get some amazing liftoff images
उदक वाला इंजन
today.
लगा हुआ है।
P2 pulsar on.
इस यान में 3 उपग्रह हैं जो अपने उद्दिष्ट कक्षा की ओर सफर करेंगे। इनमें पहला है DSEO उपग्रह जो कि 365 kg का लघु उपग्रह है।
So right now he's just explaining the various stages of the rocket, which I have already explained you. So don't worry about it.
तीसरा उपग्रह इसमें स्कूप 1 नामक 2.8 kg का नैनो उपग्रह है। इन्हें इसी क्रम में इनके उद्दिष्ट कक्षा
Hey
में
Pietro,
अंतःक्षेपित
welcome to the
किया
stream.
जाएगा।
So guys,
मुख्य उपग्रह
let's just
DSEO
have in the chat from where you are watching this stream. Let's just see where are you watching this stream from.
10 डिग्री के झुकाव के साथ एलिप्टिकल ऑर्बिट में स्थापित किया जाएगा। इसकी भूमध्य रेखा से ऊंचाई 570 किलोमीटर की होगी।
So right now he just said that it will be a 570-kilometer orbit with a 10-degree inclination. That is what they are aiming for today.
Today's launch marks the second
P4
launch
radiation
mission
is on.
by ISRO for the year 2022 and also the second time ever NSIL has undertaken a commercial mission. The viewers may recall that in 2021, NSIL achieved its first commercial mission with the launch of PSLV C51 Amazonia
We have
1.
people from Australia, India, obviously Canada,
This also marks
USA,
some more milestones like the 81st launch
Uttarakhand,
vessel mission
Hyderabad,
from SDC
Kerala,
Shar,
yeah.
55th
Vijay
flight
too.
of the
Welcome to
workhorse
the stream,
PSLV,
man.
and the 15th for the Core Alone variant of the launch vehicle.
So if you
recent
are able to
post-mission
view
phase
this launch, if you are able to see this launch, when it lifts off, if it is visible into your location, please take the pictures and the videos and tag me on Twitter at the @RocketGyan, and we will see those images and videos once this launch stream ends. So do that if you live nearby.
As we wait for the
UK
launch,
to-
we will bring to you the glimpses of integration activities of PSLV C53 at the second launch pad.
Roger.
The campaign begins with the flagging off of nozzle end segment with core base shroud by Director SDSC Shar. The segment is being transported to the vehicle assembly building where it is being handled carefully and precisely placed on the mobile launch pedestal. PS1 or the first stage comprises of 5 segments, the nozzle end segment, 3 similar middle segments topped by head end segment.
This is a nozzle end segment which they are integrating. This is the middle segment which is coming in, which will be topped by the bottom end segment, which you can see. There are certain segments of the SRBs, and there are so many
These
nut bolts
segments
which they
are
have to
processed and prepared in special facilities at the spaceport
hold.
with utmost regard to quality and safety.
This is how the SRB looks like from inside. So those are the sections of the SRBs, and that one big hole which you are seeing is filled like that.
That
You
is
just
the
saw
head end
that
segment.
once it is.
300 segment joint for the S139 motor.
This
a
is the
momentous
igniter
occasion.
motor. This is what I was talking about. Wow.
Igniter.
This is the sit vector control fuel tank. Or no,
Those
this
are
one
the
the engine
RTC
section.
RCT tanks.
Yeah, the RCT tanks. And then the engine section will also be there. These are nothing. These are not the strap-on boosters, but are the roll control thrusters. The second stage,
or the PS2 being
Vikas
brought
engine
to the
comes
vehicle
in.
assembly building, tilted and integrated.
Roger.
आप अपनी स्क्रीन पर देख रहे हैं
The
तृतीय
third
चरण
stage
तथा
and the fourth
चतुर्थ
stages you
चरण
can
को
see right now.
समायोजित किया जा रहा है। इसे पूर्ण परीक्षित कर लॉन्च पैड लाया जाता है।
You living by like
flag
30
off किया जा
kilometers, you
रहा
may
है
be able to
launch
see
pad
the
के।
launch, Akash. If you live that close, you may be able to see the launch. So go out and look for the Sriharikota, wherever that is, and see if you can spot the launcher.
हो चुका था। इसके ऊपर तृतीय चरण तथा चतुर्थ चरण समायोजित कर दिए गए हैं और यह है DSEO उपग्रह।
No, this is not DSEO. This is the new SAR, if I'm not wrong. DSEO will have, you will see that this is a DSEO, which is the spy satellite or reconnaissance satellite from Singapore.
लॉन्च पैड लाया जाएगा और अभी आप देख पा रहे हैं इसे ड्यूल लॉन्च अडेप्टर के ऊपर समायोजित कर दिया गया है। पूर्ण परीक्षित होकर यह VAB आया और अब इसे PSLV C53 में समायोजित कर दिया गया।
You can see
अब आप
this is
देख
how
पा
it
रहे
looks
हैं
like.
ऊष्मा कवच के अंदर इन्हें सुरक्षित कर दिया गया है। VAB में यह पूर्ण समायोजित PSLV C53 इसे फ्लैग ऑफ कर दिया गया है और अब यह
Roger.
SLP-UT की तरफ बढ़ रहा है।
Second launch pad, which you can see, it looks so beautiful. This launch pad is very beautiful,
पूर्ण समायोजित
and see
सड़क
those
परीक्षित
night
होकर
views.
PSLV C53 सुसज्ज है SLP-UT में।
Minus 22 minutes.
RSC confirms data from chain
Visuals of the Mission Control Center. Experts keeping a close eye on the health parameters of launch vehicle and the satellites. The second launch pad has so far hosted 29 launches. Today's launch will be the 30th in all and 16th for PSLV.
Request all stations change over to channel 2 at T minus 20 minutes. No
Hey
confirmation.
Tirtha, how are you? Welcome to the stream.
21 मिनट की दूरी पर
We are T minus 21 minutes from the launch. Things are looking good,
प्रवचन
and
की उल्टी गिनती 26
don't
घंटे
worry
पहले
about
शुरू
those
हुई
red,
है।
screens. This is the mission control thingy, which you won't understand. So don't worry if you see that red thing there. Right now
तरल
we are
नोदक का भराव की
good
स्थिति
for
प्राप्त
the
करना
countdown.
तथा उनका भराव शुरू करना, उपग्रह को पावर ऑन करना, बैटरी आवेशन, ऐसी सभी गतिविधियां संतोषजनक तरीके से पूर्ण की जा चुकी हैं।
TCTC SHAR 192
सभी
confirmed
घटनाएं
normalcy of
पूर्व निर्धारित
all
होती
telemetry
हैं,
carriers.
इसलिए इन्हें सुनियोजित तरीके से पूर्ण किया जाता है। सभी वैज्ञानिक अभियंता अपने अपने चरण की जानकारी सुदूर बैठे स्थल पर मिशन नियंत्रण कक्ष पर देख पाते हैं।
Roger.
So he's the range officer in front of you. He makes sure that the range is good for the launch and do all the call outs after the mission launches, the rocket
Countdown
launches.
time for this particular mission
request
has
all
been
stations
26
change
hours
over to
long.
channel 2.
Commenced at 4 p.m. yesterday, during which the launch vehicle and the satellite systems have been checked. Onboard batteries were charged and liquid propellants, owing to this toxicity, were serviced with utmost regard to safety.
424 confirmed.
Meanwhile, the tracking systems gear up, verifying their coherence, and the meteorology instruments keep a constant vigil on the weather.
Hey kid, welcome to the stream. Hi Abhinay, Prajapati. I
मौसम पूरी
hope
तरह अनुकूल प्रक्षेपण के लिए।
there you go.
वायु गति 5
Weather
मीटर
is
प्रति
good for
सेकंड
the
से कम है।
launch. That's what he said right now.
आसमान खुला हुआ, नीला आकाश।
What are the boxes at various levels of the lighting towers? I haven't noticed it. I'll see when the things come up. But they have made some modifications due to the Gaganyaan mission for this launch pad, which we have seen, which we have spotted for the second launch pad.
Are ready for PSLV C53 DSEO mission launch.
ROD Roger.
PS4 to BTC, PS4 stage is ready for PSLV C53 DSU mission.
COA to ROD. All range instrumentation systems are ready for PSLV C53 DSE0 launch.
ROD Roger.
So everything is looking good. And there you go.
ROD Roger.
RSO to ROD. Range safety systems are ready for the launch of PSLV C53 DSEO mission.
ROD Roger.
CNC to TTC director, all strike elements are ready for launch support of PSLV C53 DSEO mission.
TTC Director Roger.
minus 18 minutes.
This is Vehicle Director to Mission Director. All the system parameters of PSLV C53 launch vehicle are normal and within specification. The launch vehicle is ready for PSLV C53 DSCO mission. Mission Director Roger.
Wow, Yashwant, that's a good one. You are a surveyor for Sriharikota building. That indeed is something. So you helped this rocket being on the pad. You have also had your hand in it. So that's great.
टेलीमेट्री ट्रैकिंग निदेशक, रेंज
Sorry.
सेफ्टी निदेशक तथा यान
He is the
निदेशक
Somnath sir, the chairperson. As I said, yes, he is the boss of the ISRO chairperson, and he's doing a great job right now, improving the PR, improving the things which were lacking for in ISRO.
DSCO satellite from Singapore is ready for PSLV C53 launch. Mission Director Roger.
He's the Singapore person, so yeah,
Please note,
the
time
payload
set
is
for
ready.
external hold mode.
So yeah,
To Mission Director.
those anti-gravity aren't those boosters. No, those are not boosters. The red one which you see are those are the roll control thrusters. So since this is a solid rocket first stage, so they don't have the capability of the for the first stage to control the roll. So they have this small liquid fuel engine which you can see, which is able to control the roll of the rocket. And the other two white ones you are seeing, they are nothing but just the aerodynamic stabilizer. So they don't have anything. They are just there to stabilize the rocket aerodynamically. So there you go. I hope that answers your question.
Minus 16 minutes.
There you go, MD
अभी
Automech.
आप देख रहे हैं मिशन निदेशक ने चाबी घुमाकर इसे अनुमोदित किया.
Have already given clearance for proceeding with the countdown and launch of PSLV C53 DSEO mission. All operations in the countdown sequence till automatic launch sequence have been completed satisfactorily. Based on the clearance obtained from launch vehicle, spacecraft, range and ISRO network stations and prevailing favorable weather conditions, Mission Director hereby authorizes to initiate launch operation sequence for the launch of PSLV C53 DSEO mission at 18:02 hours IST today, that is 30th of June 2022.
There you go. The mission director has given authorization for the launch.
Authorization for launch.
Now the auto launch sequence have begun.
Authorization from Mission Director. Vehicle Director hereby authorizes to initiate the automatic launch sequence for the launch of PSLV C53 DSEO mission at 18:02 hours IST today, 30th June.
So this automatic launch sequence is nothing but the countdown is transferred to the computer so that it handles the all those things related to the checklist, and so yeah, it will be done now by the computer.
के प्राधिकार के पश्चात यान निदेशक ने ऑटोमेटिक लॉन्च सीक्वेंस शुरू करने का आदेश दिया और अब ऑटोमेटिक लॉन्च सीक्वेंस शुरू हो चुका है.
So T minus
अब
14
यान
minutes
पूरी
from the
तरह
launch.
ऑनबोर्ड कंप्यूटर के नियंत्रण पर है. इस दौरान ऑनबोर्ड कंप्यूटर पूरी गतिविधियों पर आंतरिक परीक्षण अनुक्रम चलाएगा और समय समय पर खुद ही प्रज्वलन का कमांड भी जारी कर देगा. अब यान पूरी तरह स्वचालित हो चुका है.
So everything is now
You have
on
just
the
watched Sri S.R. Biju, Project
internal
Director,
computer.
PSLV, and Mission Director for PSLV C53 DSEO mission, giving the clearance and authorizing the launch. And you've also seen a vehicle director announcing the start of automatic launch sequence. From about 14 minutes 30 seconds to the launch, further activities leading to the launch will be in the autonomous mode by the automatic launch sequence. The major checkout parameters of the launch vehicle and satellite will be taken care by the onboard computers.
So there you go. You have to pay to stay inside. I don't think so that this thing which you are seeing is there for public grabs. These are the those spots are reserved for the people maybe for the family members of the people in the mission control, or the
PSLV
people who are who
C53 की
have their
उड़ान
payloads
पूर्वी दिशा की
in
ओर होने वाली
the
है
rocket. So
और
those
इसमें
are the
शार्प
there are
बोर्ड
those are the
पुणे
people.
गया
Yeah.
स्थित ग्राउंड ट्रैकिंग स्टेशंस की मदद से हम यान को ट्रैक करने वाले हैं
Yes, for actuation in progress.
So T minus 12 minutes mission authorization has been given, and I really like that key authorization. Those key authorization, everything is just becoming obsolete nowadays. But that gives that a twist, or not a twist, but a unique characteristic. For a launch, when whatever we imagine that a big red button is pressed for a launch to happen, something like that is there. So yeah, that is good.
गैलरी दर्शक दीर्घा से भरी हुई है सभी इस पल का रोमांच लेने यहाँ उपस्थित हैं
So guys, if you have just joined in, we are T minus 12 minutes from the launch. Mission director has given the authorization for the launch. Things are looking good. Weather is holding up. Range is green. PSLV is also there, just
Let me take
ready
this opportunity to
for
also tell the viewers
liftoff
that
to
SDC
happen.
Shar has resumed to welcome the enthusiasts to witness the launch from its launch view gallery.
Also, guys, if you like the stream, if you like what I provide for this stream, all those animations which you will see, please do give a like to this stream and subscribe if you haven't already, because on this channel we cover all the rocket launches and space events that happen, and we also have other space and rocket science related videos too. So if you are a rocket or space nerd and want to know more about, let's say, Gaganyaan or Artemis mission, just hit that subscribe button. And if you want to support me, you can do that by becoming a member or a Patreon. Link is down in the description, and super chats are enabled for one-time fun.
2019 को गठित पूर्णतः भारत सरकार की कंपनी है जो अंतरिक्ष विभाग के अधीन है NSIL की प्राथमिक उद्देश्य भारतीय उद्योगों को उच्च अंतरिक्ष प्रौद्योगिकी के लिए सक्षम बनाना है तथा भारतीय अंतरिक्ष उत्पाद और सेवाओं को समर्थन कर उनका व्यावसायिक उपयोग करना है यह मिशन NSIL का दूसरा पूर्णतः वाणिज्यिक मिशन है इससे पहले PSLV C51 अमेजोनिया 1 नामक मिशन पे इनका पहला वाणिज्यिक मिशन था
And there you go.
Let me explain about the launch
audience
vehicle
gallery.
configuration.
Actuation in progress.
The PSLV C53 is core alone version with alternate solid and liquid stages. 139 tons of solid propellant as the main booster called the PS1. It consists of 5 segments approximately
Minus
30
10
tons
minutes.
each. Core dia 2.8 meters, thrust 4800 kilonewtons, action time of 108 seconds.
Hey Ravi
The
Teja,
second
thank you
stage
so
of
much for
PSLV
that 100,
is
man.
propulsion system
Really
with
appreciate
41
it,
tons propellant
and thank you
loading,
so much for that.
UH-25 as fuel,
Really
and
appreciate it.
N2O4 as
All
oxidizer.
actuations completed.
The Vikas engine develops 799 kilonewtons thrust. The third stage of the rocket is called HPS-3. Its height is 3.6 meters, diameter 2 meters, and uses 7.65 tons of propellant. The fourth stage is a liquid stage, which is 2.5 meters in height, 1.34 meters in diameter, and 1.6 tons of propellant loading. Monomethyl hydrazine is fuel and mixed oxides of nitrogen as oxidizer.
So, the Noosh, they have this. Okay, first of all,
inside
listen.
the payload fairing of 3.2 meters diameter. The overall height of PSLV is 44.4 meters and gross liftoff weight of PSLV-Core Alone version for the present mission is 228.4 tons.
So yeah, talking about the why don't they show the rocket then showing the crowd? See, the ISRO stream is a mix of both the worlds. A person who is not so much into rockets and space, he would like to see the people faces also. Because he or she can relate it too. But they also show the rocket, as you can see in the stream. in between, which is not, it is not like they show it for a very very less time, but they do show it properly. So it's not like an Ariane space live stream which you just don't get to see the launcher. As you can see, they constantly switch over between various camera views. So that, there you go, that's great. So that strap on which has those black triangles on it is the aerodynamic stabilizer. It does nothing. And the other one has the fuel which is used for the roll control
उसी
of the
तरह
rocket.
QL संरूपण में 1525 केजी के नित भार को ले जाने की तथा DL संरूपण में 1260 केजी तथा CA जो कि वर्तमान प्रमोचक यान है कोर अलोन, इसकी 1020 केजी के नित भार को 600 किलोमीटर तक ले जाने की क्षमता होती है। वर्तमान में पूरे उपग्रहों को मिलाकर कुल 523 केजी के नित भार हैं।
Okay.
संरूपण में
So we have a total payload weight of around 523 kilograms today.
अब हम 6 मिनट 45 सेकंड प्रमोचन से दूर।
Marco, you are very you got a very good question. Why? Okay, let's just listen in first.
Reaction control thrusters are fired 2.8 seconds before launch. At liftoff, that is at T0, the core stage or the first stage will be ignited. While the first stage is burning with tail-off thrust, the alleged rocket will be fired to give the necessary inertia to the second stage for ignition. During the regime of first stage, the launch vehicle would have reached 51 kilometers altitude and would have gained a velocity close to 1.4 kilometers per second relative to Earth. 108 seconds flight elapsed time, the PS1 will separate and the PS2 is ignited 200 milliseconds later. Crossing the dense atmosphere marks two flight events, the jettisoning of the heat shield and the initiation of closed-loop guidance. The total burn time of PS2 is 150 seconds and it is then separated from the ongoing launch vehicle. Then the third stage, called the HPS3 stage, is ignited. Following 126 seconds burn time, the PS3 is burnt out but continues to coast along with the ongoing launch vehicle. The stage separates another 200 seconds later. The PS4 or the fourth stage is ignited 300 seconds later from the separation of PS3. The burn time of PS4 is 133 seconds. During the burn regime of PSLV's fourth stage, the orbital parameters for the injection of the prime satellite DSEO are achieved. Thereafter, the dual launch adapter will be separated, followed by the injection of co-passenger satellites NewSAR and Scoop-1 into the orbit. PS4 thereafter will continue to stay in orbit as a stabilized platform for experiments.
So we are T-minus 4 minutes and 30 seconds for the launch. Things are looking great, and I am hopeful that we would get some good views of the rocket from that HD camera. And let me tell you guys, ISRO is hiding an Easter egg on this mission. There is something which is going to space, which will be revealed on 15th of August. That is what is speculated right now, but they have, hinted something. The Easter egg is hinted. So the Indian flag and the pledge is going to space. I hope they will be showing that on the 15th of August of Independence Day. So there you go, ISRO doing something interesting, right, for the people. So yes, is this Kerbal Space Simulator? Yep, there you go. The case, Kerbals are always there to save the day, because in ISRO's live footage you won't get the onboard camera, so you need something to track, right? So yeah. So guys, give it a like right now, and let's hope ISRO succeeds in their mission today.
PS4 चतुर्थ चरण PSLV के उनको पुनः त्रिअक्षीय स्थिर माइक्रोग्रेविटी के प्रयोग में लाया जाएगा। इन प्रयोगों का उद्देश्य छोटे वैज्ञानिक निर्धारों को 4 से 6 महीनों के लिए कक्षीय प्रयोगों को पूरा करना होता है। PS4 प्लेटफॉर्म में
Minus
इसकी
3 minutes.
विशेषता इस संदर्भ में यह है कि इस चरण में मानक इंटरफेस, पावर उत्पादन, टेलीमेट्री, टेलीकमांड, स्थिरता, अक्ष में सुनियोजित परिचालन तथा रखरखाव की पूरी सुविधाएं उपलब्ध होती हैं। इस बार PSLV C53 में प्रमोचन यान में भी यह चतुर्थ चरण में उपयोग किया जाएगा। इन कक्षीय प्रयोगों में पहली बार किया जा रहा है।
Yes, this rocket, let me just remind you, if you are just coming in, this rocket which you are seeing in front of you has sent Mangalyaan to the Mars, has sent Chandrayaan 1 to the moon, and it is a very reliable and a workhorse for the ISRO. And today it will be launching 3 satellites, primary satellites, and 6 other rideshare payloads to the low inclination 10-degree 570-kilometer orbit.
Minus 2 minutes.
So T minus 2 minutes, everything
PSLV C53
is going as per the plan, and the range is green, weather is holding up, and the PSLV is ready to go.
ध्रुव एरोस्पेस के हैं और इन्हें इन स्पेस और NSIL के माध्यम से शामिल किया गया है। अब हम प्रमोचन से 1 मिनट 30 सेकंड की दूरी पर
1 minute and 30 seconds remaining, guys. This is looking really cool right now. Okay, let's see what happens. I am hopeful this mission will be a success.
रोमांच का पल होता है।
And we will get those HD cameras in the. I hope those HD cameras does not turn off, and we get those live views from those cameras.
है तथा उपग्रह तैयार किए हैं।
All systems
उनके लिए
go for the launch. Yes,
रोमांच
Martin.
का समय होता है।
Minus 1 minute.
T minus 60 seconds remaining. Wow.
Minus 55 seconds.
All subs armed.
Minus 50 seconds.
All sequences armed.
Okay, this is happening, guys.
Minus 45 seconds. Minus 40 seconds.
PHPP open.
Twilight launch. We are ready
Minus
to go.
35 seconds.
Exposure is taken care of. Wow, this is good. T minus 30 seconds remaining, guys.
Real-time programs activated.
Minus 25 seconds.
PSPP open.
T minus
Minus
20,
20 seconds.
19, 18, 17, 16,
Minus 15
15,
seconds.
14, 13, 12, 11, 10.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Ignition
Plus
and lift off. Whoa, that
Plus 5
one,
seconds.
Stop normal. P1 tracking.
that is
tracking.
something.
P2 tracking.
PSLV C53
Stage performance
DSEO
normal.
मिशन सफलतापूर्ण उत्थापन अभी हमने देखा।
Wow.
गर्जना करता हुआ PSLV C53 आकाश में आप देख सकते हैं कितना साफ नजारा है। बहुत ही रोमांच भरा नजारा।
Just hear that cheers and everything in the background. Wow.
That's a marvelous liftoff, and the PS1 performance is according to the expectations for this mission.
So we are approaching the max Q for
First
this.
stage performance normal.
First stage is performing nominally.
प्रथम चरण का निष्पादन सामान्य।
Sharwan is in main auto.
Right now,
Plus
the
one
next
minute.
event coming up is
अपने
the.
उद्दिष्ट
There you
कक्षा
go.
की ओर
The
बढ़ता हुआ
this is the
PSLV
high res tracking camera from ISRO. So there you
Thrust
go.
developed during the firing of first stage is 4,800 kilonewtons.
So right now things are looking good. You will
R2 tracking SCBT1.
most
यह
probably
चरण प्रथम चरण है
the max
जो
Q
कि
has been attained.
Performance normal.
108.2 सेकंड तक चलेगा।
And now the next event is the first of all the separation motors will ignite. Yes, around like 4 seconds before the separation of the first stage, the separation motors are ignited, and then the first stage is separated, and the second stage is ignited. So there you will see.
1 minute 45 seconds from launch,
There
and
you
the
go.
altitude attained is
Large
49
separation
kilometers.
motors, and second stage should
51
have.
Stage
kilometers.
separated.
There you
Second
go.
stage engine started.
There you
Closed
go,
loop
guys.
guidance initiated.
Closed loop guidance initiated. There
Plus 2 minutes.
you just saw
प्रथम चरण पृथक कर दिया गया है यान से तथा
the
द्वितीय चरण का
timeline.
प्रज्वलन
This
शुरू
is
हो चुका
how
है
the separation looks like. Those both the separation motors.
Performance normal.
You can see the flight events on your TV screens. The recent one has been the initiation of closed loop guidance.
So this closed loop guidance is initiated. What do they mean by this? This closed loop guidance means now the vehicle is taking the trajectory which it is going, as well as it is also taking the trajectory which it is supposed to go, and doing all the corrections as per the trajectory. So this is a closed loop guidance in which the feedback is involved. For the first stage, that is not the case, because that is a SRB and it is inside a thick amount of atmosphere. So any variation in the trajectory would result in the rocket tumbling, or it would not. There you go. The fairing has been separated. That was in sync. So therefore they do this closed loop guidance in the second stage, where there is less atmosphere and it is liquid fuel, so more control is there.
अब जायरोस्कोप और एक्सेलरोमीटर की मदद से अपनी दिशा निर्धारण कर रहा है घने वातावरण से
Hey,
बाहर
Chris.
जाने की वजह से
Second stage performance
Yep.
normal.
Kerbals are always there to save the day.
पृथक कर दिया गया है
The Ulaj
Shar
motors
and
have
Port Blair
separated.
stations currently tracking the launch vehicle trajectory.
There you go. It is going as per the plan. There are three dots or
Second
three
stage of
lines, three
PSLV
colors. The
increases
green one,
velocity of onboard
the yellow
launch
one,
vehicle
and
from
then the
1.2 kilometers per
red
second
one.
to
So
4
red one
kilometers per
is the
second.
trajectory which it is supposed to go. Green one is the trajectory which the rocket is taking, rocket is tracking, and the yellow one is the trajectory which the radar is tracking. So there you go, and I think the radar has stopped working, so therefore only the green one is seen here right now. Wow, it looks so good and it is in sync. I am so
उसके
happy.
तुरंत बाद ही
There
तृतीय
you
चरण
go.
का
Second
प्रज्वलन
stage
शुरू हो
Wow.
separated. Third stage ignited.
The third stage has
The second
ignited.
stage has been separated, and the third stage, called the PS3, has begun
Third
its
stage
operation.
performance normal.
It is a solid propellant-based motor. It increases the relative velocity from 4 to 7.2 kilometers per second for the mission requirements. Thrust developed is 240 kilonewtons.
Although we are not getting the apogee and perigee readings right now, but things are looking good. Things are going as per the plan.
PS3 का प्रज्वलन काल 125
Plus 5
सेकंड का
minutes.
होगा इस दौरान यह 335 किलोन्यूटन का प्रणोद उत्पन्न करेगा
Wow, the track also looks so similar.
Performance normal.
I'm so proud of myself. Okay, just kidding. But right now, we can see the Okay. See, the best thing about the ISRO stream is that you get ton of data to look into. Although you'll get those public, those crowd faces also, but here you go, the sweet data. 5.5 kilometers per second, range is 709 kilometer, altitude is 212 kilometer and increasing. So
Third stage performance normal.
Third stage is performance nominally. Okay, so
The total burn time for HPS-3 is 132 seconds.
Plus 6 minutes.
In this duration, it will add 60 kilometers to the altitude.
Okay, things are looking good. 7.2 kilometer per second achieved. Now it is almost the rocket has achieved its orbit. Almost it has achieved. Now there you go. The third stage action completed. Super synced. There you go. Now
प्रज्वलन समाप्त हो चुका है HPS 3 का
now this third stage will stay.
In combined hosting phase.
There you go. It is in combined coasting phase right now. So vehicle, the third stage is not separated immediately after this burnout has happened, because this is a solid rocket motor and there is no separation motor with that. And if it is separated just after its burnout, there is supposed to be some sort of residual burn or trail off coming out of the solid rocket booster, which can cause some sort of acceleration in the third stage, and it can hit back to the fourth stage, and you don't want that to happen. So the best case scenario is you don't separate it right now and let that trail off happen, residual burn happens. This would also be advantageous because it would also help us in gaining some more speed. And now when they are fully sure that it has achieved completed its residual burn also, then they separate the third stage and the fourth stage, which you will see in some time. So the trajectory which you are seeing is totally flat right now, and it is because the velocity is not increasing, right? So that is a velocity graph which you can see. Stage 2 performance
Port
is
Blair and
nominal.
Brunei stations.
Time versus altitude, there you go. The time versus altitude and the time versus relative velocity graph is there. The flat one is the time versus relative velocity, but the altitude is still increasing right now. And if you are wondering like how come the altitude increases when the vehicle is not the engine is not running, the simple answer is when you throw a ball up, right? It goes up, right? You just throw it off. Your hand is not in contact with the ball at the all time. So you just provide an initial force and then it just goes off. Similar is the case with this one. The initial force is provided by the third stage, and then it coasts, and in that coasting phase also the vehicle gains the altitude because the engine has provided that enough force already.
Controlled.
So 333 kilometers, 334 kilometers.
plus 9 minutes.
हमारे ग्राउंड स्टेशंस जैसे शार्प, पोर्ट ब्लेयर, ब्रूने बैक ग्राउंड स्टेशंस में से वर्तमान में ब्रूने तथा बेयाक ग्राउंड स्टेशन
Why did
यान के
suggest
आंकड़े हम तक
selected
पहुंचा
the
रहे हैं
third stage as a solid rocket motor? It's a very good question. Uh, they have selected it because it's not you will see there is this is a four stage rocket, right? The fourth stage is the, you can say, the liquid fuel and is the final one. So this third stage is a, you can say, a rough insertion in the orbit, and you can get that easily by having a solid rocket motor because that burns very quickly and provides that initial thrust. There you go. The third stage has separated. That was also was super sync. So that the third stage provides that rough insertion in the orbit, and the fine tuning is done by the fourth stage, which is a liquid one, or you can say the fourth stage is a velocity trimming module, right? So that is the reason why they chose the third stage as the SRB, because they had the fourth stage, and the third stage can be solid because it provides such a good amount of thrust in a small period of time, and the trajectory is chosen in such a way so that obviously that thrust is in the calculation.
पथ पर बढ़ता हुआ
So we are T plus 10 minutes and 38 seconds. Everything is looking good. Vehicle is performing nominally. It is going as per the plan and is following the trajectory as planned.
PS4 इंजन को इग्नाइट किया जाएगा.
Vehicle performance is nominal. Here you can see the green line is going on the red line, which means the vehicle is tracking good. It is performing as per the plan, going in the planned trajectory.
चतुर्थ चरण PS4 व अंतिम चरण है जो कि तरल नोदक पर आधारित चरण है. इसका प्रज्वलन काल 132.66 सेकंड का होगा.
Wow.
और यह कुल 14.66 किलोन्यूटन का प्रणुद उत्पन्न कर उपग्रह को उनकी उद्दिष्ट कक्षा में स्थापित करेगा.
What are they using as a fuel? The fourth stage fuel is the
इन उपग्रहों
monomethyl
में सर्वप्रथम
hydrazine and
DSEO उपग्रह को
oxides of
अंतक्षेपित किया
nitrogen.
जाएगा।
Vehicle performance
उसके
normal.
पश्चात क्रमशः DLA, न्यूसार तथा स्कूप 1 को अंतक्षेपित किया जाएगा।
Guys, please do hit the like
For this
button right
mission,
now.
the
If you
PS4 will
like my
function
coverage,
as
those animations, please hit that like
Orbital
button.
Experimental Module, or the POEM activity, which performs in-orbit scientific experiments using the spent PS4 stage as an orbital platform. This is the first time that PS4 stage would orbit the Earth as a stabilized platform. Attitude stabilization is achieved using a dedicated navigation, guidance and control system. POEM derives the power from the solar panels mounted around the PS4
Vehicle
tank
performance normal.
and a lithium-ion battery. It navigates using 4 sun sensors, a magnetometer, gyro.
And guys, whosoever are the members of this channel will get this KSP craft file, so you don't worry about it and you can try it on your own. So yeah, there you go.
And Messrs. Dhruva Space, enabled through InSpace and NSIL.
Plus 13 minutes.
Plus 30 minutes at T plus 14 minutes and 28 seconds. The final stage, the fourth stage will ignite. And as she said, this fourth stage is a different one right now. This is a POEM, which is basically, which means that the fourth stage itself will be recycled in space. It will be a proper stabilized orbital platform where you can host your experiments, your payloads, and it will provide all those propulsion system, the electrical systems, the power and the communication also. So it will be, the first stage will be that stabilized platform where you can host your payloads, your experiment, which is such a cool thing to do, right?
इनमें से कुल 53 उड़ानें पूर्णतः सफल रही हैं। इस तरह PSLV की विश्वसनीयता संख्या 97.3% है और इस कारण से ही इसे इसरो का वर्कहॉर्स भी कहा जाता है।
So now the second, the fourth engine is coming up in just few seconds.
का चयन किया जाता है। वर्तमान में PSLV CA संरूपण में समायोजित यह यान करीब 523 kg के नतभारों को 570 किलोमीटर की दीर्घवृत्ताकार कक्षा में स्थापित करने जा रहा है। अब कुछ ही क्षणों में हम देखेंगे PS4 का प्रज्वलन।
Getting ready for the launch, means the ignition, and okay, that was not in sync, but
Engine started.
fourth stage engine has started now. It is propelling the final, the payloads to its intended orbit.
Fourth stage performance normal.
That's what we want.
The fourth stage has been ignited and it's developing intended thrust.
Yes, Eric, people from the Singapore, welcome to the stream. I hope your payloads are healthy and you will get to, have your satellites up in the orbit. That DSEO satellite is a very important satellite for Singapore because it will be used for disaster management, disaster relief, and in the early warning of, weather conditions. So I hope and this mission will be successful. You don't worry. This PSLV is a very reliable rocket. It will get your payload to the orbit.
चतुर्थ चरण PSLV C53 का सामान्य प्रदर्शन करता हुआ और अपनी उद्दिष्ट कक्षा की ओर बढ़ता हुआ सर्वप्रथम DSEO की कक्षा प्राप्त की जाएगी जो कि 570.5 किलोमीटर की है तथा इसे 7.07 किलोमीटर प्रति सेकंड की सापेक्ष वेग से अंतक्षेपित किया जाएगा।
So now you can see
Fourth
the
stage performance normal.
the altitude is decreasing.
Bayak and Brunei stations are still
Means
tracking.
the altitude is flattening out because it has reached that apogee, and it is circling, circling the Earth now, and you making sure that orbit is circular. So that's why the
Speaking about the satellites
distance
taking part in this
trajectory is
mission, the
flattened
prime
there.
satellite DSEO is a 365 kg Singaporean satellite that carries an electro-optic multispectral payload with good imaging capability that will provide full
Plus
color
17
images
minutes.
for land
Post stage thrust
classification
cutoff.
There you go, on
and
time.
serving humanitarian assistance and disaster relief
Satellite
needs.
injection conditions are achieved.
There you go. Orbit is achieved. Now the deployment is left.
Now the PS4 is realigning itself to the correct attitude for the satellite separation.
It is about to happen in just 5,
अंतक्षेपण की
4,
स्थितियां प्राप्त की जा
3,
चुकी हैं
2,
अब
1.
कुछ ही क्षणों में
and
DSEO
Okay.
उपग्रह
will happen. It will happen.
नियोसार
10
उपग्रह
seconds
स्क्रूप 1 उपग्रह
Also,
जो
you
कि
will see
सिंगापुर के हैं
the separation of the satellite,
किया जाएगा।
the onboard camera.
अभी आप ऑनबोर्ड कंप्यूटर की मदद से यह कैमरा व्यू देख पा रहे हैं जिसमें
DSEO satellite separated.
Wow. Okay, so it has been separated. Mission is completed.
मुख्य उपग्रह
Partially right
DSEO
now.
को अंतक्षेपित कर दिया
Primary
गया है
payload has been
उनके उद्देश्य
separated.
कक्षा में।
Indeed, a jubilant moment here in Mission Control Center as the prime satellite DSEO has been injected into its intended orbit.
So now the
been
next
watching the
thing
onboard
is
camera.
the separation of that adapter which is hiding the other payload. So
Next is
you
the
will see
dual
that.
launch adapter separation, following which NewSAR, Singapore's first small commercial satellite carrying a SAR payload, will separate.
There you go. The dual launch adapter separated and super sync. Everything is looking good. Now the NeoSAR is waiting for to be separated.
अभी कुछ ही क्षणों में हम साक्षी बनेंगे न्यूसार तथा स्कूप 1 उपग्रह के अंतक्षेपण के।
NewSAR satellite separated.
Wow! Finally, mission achieved
Coupon
successfully.
satellite separated. PSLV C53 DSEO mission accomplished. Handing over to mission director.
Wow. Okay, there you go, guys. Mission accomplished successfully.
Injected DSEO primary satellite and 2 other satellites into the desired orbit. PSLV C53 DSEO mission is fully accomplished.
Having deployed the DSEO NewSAR in Scoop 1 satellites, the PSLV C53 has accomplished its mission successfully. Hearty congratulations to the satellite customers, another feather in the cap of ISRO. And as we take leave from you, do continue to stay healthy and happy. Stay tuned for the address by Secretary DOS and Chairman ISRO.
जी हाँ, हर्ष का पल यहाँ सभी तीनों उपग्रह उनके उद्दिष्ट कक्षा में अंतक्षेपित कर दिए गए हैं और इसके साथ ही
This is
PSLV
the fourth
C53
stage which has solar panels on it. So this will be used in animation. You can say this will be used as a stabilized platform to conduct all those experiments and host the payloads from. There are 6 payloads on it, and 2 of them are from Indian space private startups, the Dhruva Space and Digantra, if I pronounced it already. All right.
Good evening to all of you.
Let's listen in.
PSLV C53 has placed the customer satellites of NSIL, DSEO, NewSAR and Scoop 1 in the precise orbit of 570 km with a 10-degree inclination. So congratulations to NSIL for accomplishing this yet another major mission in this month, June itself. The first being the GSAT-24 launch. Currently the satellite is in orbit, drifting to its intended location. So with this today's mission, all these 3 satellites are placed in the right orbit. And I hope that the further activities of the satellites will be taken up and the mission will be a complete success for our customers. And I wish all the very best to NSIL for major missions to take up in the coming days using PSLV. And PSLV is waiting for that to happen. Many more missions are on the way for the customers all across the globe to come and get successfully placed in orbit. So let me wish once again all the very best to PSLV team for this wonderful accomplishment, proving the high reliability and availability of PSLV for the global customers. I also want to tell that after the primary mission, the PSLV 4 stage is now going to write some poems in orbit. The PSLV orbital experimental module is going to be functional after this, taking over the control of the 4 stage from the primary mission computer to another computer which will take on from that. And the PSLV 4 stage will be a stage which is powered, generating power on board and stabilized with attitude control, and also having certain experiments hosted by some of the very young startups enabled by InSpace, the Dhruva and Digandra. They have hosted their payloads for experiments on board PSLV. And these experiments will continue, and we will get details about its functioning in the next orbit. Until then, let me thank you and wish all the very best to all of you for watching this launch of PSLV once again from Sriharikota. So let me wish all the very best once again, and then invite the mission director, Sri Biju, for his comments.
Mr. Somnath sir has again started this ritual of calling mission
Good evening
director.
to all. A special good evening to all my colleagues and friends in different control centers as well as ground stations spread geographically at different locations. A few seconds back, all of us have witnessed a wonderful launch of PSLV. PSLV C53, which is PSLV in its 55th launch, that is PSLV C53, has majestically taken off from the second launch pad and injected 3 satellites, 3 precious satellites in their desired orbits. PSLV was in a different configuration this time. It is the Core Alone configuration, and we are coming back to SLP with this variant of PSLV after a pretty long time. So we had to introduce certain changes, and also in vehicle systems we had introduced some other changes to ease or to improve the productionization of PSLV so that we can keep meeting the growing demands of customers. And all those changes which we have implemented have yielded results. I profusely thank our NewSpace India Limited for having reposed their faith in ISRO and PSLV, and for having selected us for taking this prestigious customers to their desired orbits. I also wish our satellite team a wonderful time in space, maybe even surpassing their design life. I wish you all the best, sir. With this, usually our mission would have been completed, and probably my words here also would have ended. But as our beloved chairman has hinted here, we have set our eyes really high in this particular mission. C53, even after injection of the satellites, is continuing its mission. It is a secondary mission as far as the PSLV is concerned, and the details have been given by our chairman ISRO. PSLV, as you know, it is a four-stage vehicle. After first stage, second stage, third stage, the functions are over. Those will be ejected, and PS4 will take the satellite into its desired orbit. Once the orbit is achieved, PS4 will eject the satellite into the orbit, and it will continue on its own. From this point, we thought we will take over PSLV. We will give some energy to PS4 and try to do some very cost-effective experiments which can satisfy the growing demands of startups, of our student community, as well as our scientific community, because the platform is available. Left to itself, it would have probably taken its own course, it would have tumbled, it would have wobbled, or it would have somersaulted, all those things. But given some energy, probably we will be able to continue the active PS4 for some more time, so that the platform is available, all the resources are available, you keep some payloads, you keep some scientific payloads there, and definitely it can serve a secondary purpose also. That is where we have set our eyes this time. And definitely we are going to achieve it. We are targeting that.
And this particular idea for this mission was conceptualized and implemented in almost a record time of something like 3 to 4 months, maybe in 3 months' time. And it is effectively, as I told, 2 missions rolled into one mission. Effectively, 2 missions rolled into one mission. So, huge effort has gone in from all centers. In fact, for this particular mission, all centers of ISRO have contributed, and the dedication and the extremely hard work put in by all members of Team ISRO is yielding results. I salute all of you for the wonderful contribution you have given. I also thank profusely our review forums, different review forums, as well as our administrative as well as auxiliary systems services for supporting us throughout the entire campaign as well as realization of this vehicle. I also thank my own project team being led by Sri Srikanth as well as Sri M. Jalal, Vehicle Director and Associate Vehicle Director, who always are on their toes to ensure that only high reliable systems are getting into the vehicle. I also thank all our industry partners spread over different areas of the country for delivering high quality systems for this vehicle. Before winding up, I would like to acknowledge the sincere contribution as well as the untiring support being given by all our family members, our parents, our siblings, our kids, our spouses, everyone. Because without this, definitely a mission of this dimension will not be possible. I salute them also for facilitating us to keep on contributing to ISRO, so that always the name ISRO or the flag of ISRO, which is the pride of our country, flies higher and higher. I once again thank each and every one of you, particularly our seniors, our mentors, as well as members of very senior professors of our erstwhile MRR forum, who continues to guide us, even personally calling us and giving very precious pieces of advice as well as guidance, just to ensure that PSLV success saga continues. I once again thank each and every one of you for this wonderful mission that we have witnessed now. Thank you, good night.
I invite Sri Radhakrishnan, CMD NSIL, for his comments.
Yep, NSIL is doing a great job now. The commercial arm.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. NSIL is, first of all, let me extend a very hearty congratulations to Team ISRO for supporting NewSpace India Limited in undertaking such a precious mission for our Singapore customer. In fact, NSIL is really excited to see the successful launch of PSLV C53 with all the 3 Singapore satellites that were on board. As you are all seen, a beautiful deployment of all the 3 satellites. Primarily, if you look at this particular mission, DSEO was the primary in this particular mission with 365 kg of mass meant for Earth observation. And another innovative thing that has been carried out in this particular mission from the customer perspective was the launch of NewSAR, which is a microsatellite with synthetic aperture radar kind of capability, again for the Earth observation purposes. The 3rd satellite was COBE, which was a technology demonstrator. And I think as we witnessed this beautiful launch, I don't think the customer would have asked anything more than the kind of precision with which the orbit was deployed, the 570 kilometer with 10-degree inclination. It was really a very...
Okay, so this is not at my end. What has happened? Wow, okay.
I don't think the customer would have asked anything more than the kind of precision with which the orbit was deployed, the 570 kilometer with 10-degree inclination. It was really a very...
Okay, so it is in the back, from the back side only. Let me...
Space endeavor. And before I conclude, I would like to join Chairman ISRO, Secretary DOS also to say that in a span of 1 week, this is the 2 big missions NewSpace India Limited has undertaken. As you may be knowing, a week back on 22nd of June, we had the successful launch of our communication satellite from Kourou. And in the next 7 days, we have this big mission that has been undertaken. I really thank all the teams here for supporting us. And I'm sure in the coming months and years, we'll have many more dedicated missions coming up from NewSpace India Limited, both for national and international customers. With this, I just conclude. Thank you once again, and congratulations to all of you. Jai Hind.
Let me offer my thanks to each and every one of you across the ISRO centers for contributing to this mission, and also for all those who are watching this program live and supporting Indian Space Research Organization and Department of Space for our endeavor to make our country proud on having our capability to launch, build, launch, and have the space program very effective for our country. Thank you so much once again.
Okay, so there you go, guys. The mission is successful. But first of all, thank you so much, Utkarsh Bhai and Gajula Jagdish for 100 rupees. Thank you so much. It really means a lot, man. Thank you so much. It keeps the channel alive, and yeah, thank you for your support. March 2028 says, I have an official license ISRO shirt. Would it be okay for me to wear it to my local science museum, even though you are from European descent? Yeah, it's totally all right. Even I would say Indian people would love it. Nobody would get upset about it. Indian people would love it. So if you have, and if you want to flaunt it, go ahead. And everyone, especially from India, would love that. So yes, with that, the PSLV C53 mission is fully accomplished. Only the secondary mission is going on, which is the, as they said, the PS4 is converted, for a stabilized orbital platform where the 6 experiments are hosted. So yeah, that was pretty much about it. Thank you so much, Srichan Bhatt. So just a second. Yeah. So this was the PSLV rocket when it was on the pad, and it was there before, in just 26 minutes before, and it is not now. And yeah, it is a very beautiful looking rocket. And yes, this was what I was talking about. These are the aerodynamic stabilizer, and this is the roll control thruster. These are the separation motors here, you can see. And yes, then the PSLV rocket. So the mission is successful. And if you have just if you joined me in the beforehand, before the live stream of the ISRO began, you must have seen all the coverage which I do. Basically, I tell you about all the stages of the PSLV. I told you about all the stages of the PSLV, the first, second, third, explained you each and everything about that. The first stage, the roll control thrusters. This is the igniter motor, which was very interesting because we haven't seen any footage or any images of the igniter motor of the first stage. This small section is responsible for igniting the whole rocket when it lifts off from the pad. It's just a small thing, and then also so powerful. So yeah, there's that. And then we have the second stage, the Vikas engine, which looks very cool, as operated thrust of around 804 kilonewtons. It's a liquid fuel engine. Then the third stage, which has a flex nozzle for the gimbaling. Literally, the nozzle is flexed for providing the appropriate gimbal to the vehicle, the steering capability. And then the fourth stage is there. Then we talked about all the DSEO satellite, the new SAR satellite, and then the PS4 orbital module, which you can see in front of you. And here ISRO did hint some thing, which the Easter egg is given by ISRO. If you can see here, something is on this orbital module, right? The PS4, the fourth stage, the Indian flag, and some sort of something. And people have said this is a pledge which we have in here, and this is the Indian flag. And there are some rumors that ISRO is going to do some a big show on 15th of August in the Independence Day. And then we will most probably be getting the views from the space, where our flag, India flag, would be in space, and we would be able to see that. That would be so cool, and I'm so happy that ISRO has decided to do that, because it would inspire so many young people, which is so much necessary right now in India, because ISRO is not a young organization. People in ISRO are very old. So people who are, we want the young blood obviously in ISRO, so that would be so great. And now let's just see if you all got us some views of the rocket. If you have got some views, guys, do tag me on Twitter, because then we can see that. Okay, so do tag me on Twitter. Let's see if I got something. Look, so many Chinese are in my live stream. Okay, thank you so much. That is something that is great. Say that. Okay. Guys, do tag me on Twitter at RocketGyan is my handle. You can follow me also. I, do all my publish all the updates related to space and rockets, which you can see in here. This was the uh, photo which was taken by Chandrayaan-2 high resolution camera from in lunar orbit. This is the Eagle descent stage, which is the Apollo descent module, which is such a cool thing to have. This is not so high res right now because it is a screenshot, but in reality we have got a very high resolution image of that Eagle descent stage. And yes, the moon landing is not fake. So there you go. Okay, this is something. Yep. This is a meme which only Indian ISRO, basically Indian space program enthusiast, would understand. So yeah. Okay, so we got something, some views of the rocket. There you go. The PSLV lifting off. Some local views are in here. That is so great. Wow. See that. I'm so jealous of you, Elysium. Elysium. You are so near to the pad. You got to see these launches. So yeah, so jealous of you. Okay. Um. Okay, Rohit Bishnoi has. We have some views in here from Chennai. So people, I have seen people, getting the videos from Chennai, Andhra Pradesh is obviously it will be visible, and even Bangalore. People living in Bangalore are also can also see this launch, which is so cool. So yeah, there you go. There's that, and yeah, obviously contrails are the must. Wow, just see that, see the launch. It just never gets old. Something, that fire arrow going to space just never gets old. Wow. You can hear the silence because uh, most of the time people don't even know that there is an launch, so they don't see this going up. But yeah, birds are chirping, and a rocket launch is what you want at that point of time, right? So yeah, there you go. The first stage separation happens. So there it is. Yep. So guys, do follow me on Twitter and do tag me on Twitter, basically, if you have got some views of the rocket. So if you want to see the actual launch, if we one has, yep, there you go, the launch of the PSLV rocket. So before that, there is some these roll control thrusters are ignited just like almost 3 seconds before the liftoff time. Yeah, there you go, and then the liftoff. Wow. And there you can see some tiles also falling off, right? Here you can see those tiles are nothing but and those are, first of all, those are nominal, and those tiles are nothing but you can say kind of an heat shield for the fuel tanks, because the fuel which is used in here, the liquid fuel, is N2O4 and UDMH, and those are earth storable around like the optimal temperature for them is around 15 degrees, 20 degrees or so. So there you don't need cryogenic temperature, but you can just have some sort of thermal coating in place to make sure that propellant remains in place at that point, at that temperature only, because the propellant filling happens way before. It's not like SpaceX, wherein just 2 minutes before the launch the tanks are fully fueled. Here the tanks are fueled like hours before the launch. So yeah, there's that, and such a beautiful launch.
PSLV C53 DSEO mission.
So yeah, there you go. Everything looks great. Wow, from nearby city. Okay, so this is a temple, right? Which temple is this one? And we can see a launch from a temple, nearby a temple. Wow, that is great. Even God inside these temples can see the launch. That's great. Okay, so yeah, if you have any questions, you can surely ask me. But the PSLV C53 DSEO mission is successfully accomplished. Yeah. So guys, if you liked my stream, if you liked my commentary and those animations, please do give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, because uh, in just 9 hours or 7 hours from now, we will be having another launch, not from India obviously, but the Atlas 5 launch, which is also rare in US. So do join me for that. Throat is just gone today with all those excitement and everything. Yeah. Okay, रॉकेट उड़ेगा कब? रॉकेट उड़ गया पापा का परा. उड़ गया है रॉकेट already. T plus 43 minutes. 43 minutes have been passed. You can just rewind and you will you most probably आप देख सकते हैं. Okay. Yep. So I think that is pretty much Gaganyaan update. So talking about Gaganyaan, it was supposed to launch in 2022. Even almost that the uncrewed launch should have happened by 2022, but it is not. It will happen in 2023, but we can see some in-flight abort test from for Gaganyaan, which is a very interesting test to be seen, because there they have actually made a whole new launch vehicle, kind of a whole new launch vehicle, but the parts are derived from this PSLV only. So just because they can't just waste a GSLV Mark III, such a costly rocket, just for the testing purposes, in which it will, obviously it is designed to be exploded, right, for an in-flight abort. So in that case, they have made a just a smaller part, in which they have just one liquid fuel engine. It will take it to some height, and then it will trigger the in-flight abort, and then things can be tested. So yeah, that is one thing, because ISRO is known for saving the money, so they can't just waste crores of money. So there you go. For testing also, they are doing this one. What happened to the Chandrayaan 2 mission? Chandrayaan 2 is there in the orbit. It is doing fine. Chandrayaan 3 is supposed to happen. It was supposed to happen in this year only, but I don't think so that is happening, because we would have seen such a big announcement by now, but we haven't got that by now. So the launch window is in July to August time only. So I'm not so hopeful for this year's launch. Maybe by next year, in 2023, we will see a Chandrayaan 3 launch, we will see Aditya L1 launch, we will see Gaganyaan launch also, if we are lucky. So maybe 2023 is the year for ISRO where the things will finally be getting get moving. Okay. How to join ISRO? Well, you first of all need to, you know, it depends. If you are a physics student, as if you say, if your name is that, you must be a science student, then you can try to go to join ISRO by, applying for the university which is actually managed by ISRO. So IIST is there. They take the recruitment through um, um, applications, the admissions through the JE Advanced. So if you clear the JE Advanced, that the IIT level exam, clear that, then you can go to that institute. But other than also, if you have completed your graduation, then there is one centralized exam, ICRB, which happens. It has not been happening since 2019 for some reason, which really sucks. But by I am hopeful for the next year we will see the recruitment start happening again. So ICRB exam is like a gate level exam which you can give, and then you can go clear that. Then there will be an interview. If you clear that too, then you will be okay. नोप रोज़ लाइव नहीं आते। जब लॉन्च होता है या फिर कोई स्पेस रिलेटेड कोई इवेंट होता है, कोई मून पे लैंड कर रहा होता है, मार्स पे जा रहा होता है या एस्ट्रॉयड पे कर रहा होता है कुछ, then I come live. So if you want that, if you don't want to miss any space update or launches, you can subscribe to this channel, and hopefully you will start to see some good launches in 2023, and some good videos also. I am working on some videos, so see some videos too. Why no GSLV commercial launch? So see, the thing is with the GSLV is a very 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 cost efficient rocket. Even I have tweeted one thing. Just find, I don't think so, that was like way way behind OneWeb of estimate. Yep, OneWeb is corrected 5. So there was one tweet which I tweeted basically. In that I said that the GSLV Mark 3 launch is way GSLV Mark 3 basically is way cheaper, and if it comes into commercial market right now, the GSLV Mark 3 or Mark 2 is not commercial, and that is the reason why you are unable to see those commercial launches. But if it comes into the market for the commercial launches, then it will give a strong competition to the Soyuz, the Falcon 9 also, because that is how it is done. So I can't find it, unfortunately. But yes, these are all the things that I tweet about, so you can just follow me on Twitter if you haven't already. I can't find it. It was way back. But what I said was around just $49 million. $43 million is the cost. Around $43 million is the GSLV Mark II cost. $49 million is the GSLV Mark III cost per launch. And it can put around 10 tons to low Earth orbit. So it is very cost efficient. So actually the Chinese launcher and the Indian launchers are very cost efficient because they are not even using the reusable technology right now, but still achieving the desired result without any problem. So you go one more footage. Wow. Hey. One more. People are getting enthusiastic for ISRO launches. I haven't seen these. You will be amazed to see like ISRO has been launching for so long now, but people were not interested. But now the things are changing. People are capturing these videos and photos and whatnot. So Yeah, this is cool. Isada for tagging me on all those. I think this is the launch gallery. No, I don't think so, but um, yeah, this is the initial part of the launch when the rocket was just going above the vertical position. There you go. Okay, I guess that should sum it up for today's launch, and we will meet you back again in just 7 hours from now with the Atlas 5 launch. Yep, Isada, I did that. Mission Mangal fuel count. Mission Mangal is the worst movie ever produced, Nitish. I must say that. It just, you know, it is not at all scientifically accurate, and it just deviates the audience from like how ISRO performs, how ISRO do their job. It's such a, I should not say anything about it, but I'm looking forward to rocketry movie though. It is coming out in 1st of July, I think. Tomorrow only. Wow. Okay. So I'm looking forward to that rocketry movie. It is supposed to be very much technically sound, and it is based on the biography of Nambi Narayan. He's a very, very, should say, unfortunate ISRO scientist, but a very, very patriotic one. So his autobiography would be very interesting to see. So we'll see. Yep, rocketry कल आएगा, वो देखेंगे. Okay, so I think that should sum it up, and I should end the stream. Thank you so much for joining in, and we'll meet you again in just 7 hours from now for the Atlas 5 launch. Okay, thank you all for joining in, and until then, this is Priyanshu Rohila. You just saw Rocket Gyan. Stay safe, stay healthy, and